let's jump straight into your game. That was I left it at 2-0. I left it at 2-0. I had to go somewhere. I had to fly out. So it's 2-0 to Chelsea. They were on top. It was a break. Sterling against I think it was Gabriel, and there was a cutback. And then Jackson ran onto the ball, and then Raya made a good save. He anticipated him, got his hands to it. That's where I left the game. I think it was like
No,
67 minutes.
that's because Raya made a mistake still.
No. Yeah, I was just about to say, Chris.
Yeah, for that
No.
one,
What I'm
Raya made a
saying is,
mistake.
I'm not talking about the thing. I'm just talking about where I left the
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
where
no,
you
thing.
no.
left? Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, so so Raya's done this, stop Jackson, cool. I think it's like 67 minutes, 2-2s. I went to Nando's afterwards. 2-2s. I'm watching the United game. I checked the scores, it's 2-2. So talk to me about what happened after that, because that's where I left the game. So what happened after 66 minutes, Puz? Like how did Arsenal come back into the game? I saw the goals, but what changed? What changed? I know it was a goalkeeping mistake again from Chelsea. But talk to me.
You know, it's crazy. I can tell you what changed, but I've just got to start off. When Arteta started making his subs, I just thought, yeah, we've given up in it. The game's done. Like, no disrespect to them. When I seen Nketiah and Smith Rowe coming, I was just like, yeah, Arteta's giving up in the game, innit?
I agree.
That's what I thought. I was on my phone. I was just like, I just did a sigh of relief in it, like whatever in it. Let them have this W. And then, but I'm still looking at my phone now, and then all I've heard is Rice scores. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen what's his name? The Chelsea goalkeeper. He's made a mistake.
Sanchez.
He's passed the ball straight to Declan Rice. Sanchez, that's it. And Rice is just taking a shot, you know, just taking a chance. Goalkeeper's off his line, and we've scored. And as soon as he went 2-1, I always had a feeling we'll come back to 2-2, especially when Trossard came on. I always had a feeling we'll get back to 2-2, or we might even win the game. But luckily for us, it was 2-2. I would actually say that Arteta's substitutions made a big impact on the game. As it, you know, I got to give him credit. For the past how many games, the subs have been coming on and making a difference. So,
yeah,
big up Trossard as well, my guy right here. Great goal. It just shows that Arsenal we're actually here to stay in this title challenge. You know, we ain't going nowhere for now. It shows our mentality. Chelsea actually played well, which we've been saying for weeks anyway, that they're gonna come good at some point. Chelsea played well, but I don't know. I feel like Chelsea they didn't give up, but it's the youth in that squad. They couldn't see at the game, and obviously we have experience from last season, the season before that, so we came back. Never say die attitude. I love it from the guys. Pause.
Yeah, I hear you. I was actually asking the question because obviously it was his first game back, so I don't think he's obviously match fit. You could be fit, but then there's a difference between being fit and match fit. I don't think Saka had a great game in that respect, but you can see why he stays on the pitch, because that delivery for Trossard was absolutely outstanding.
Sublime.
People think it's like there are a lot of wingers. You see it in football, like even at my level, the highest level. Just put the ball in the box, right? Just put it in an area. Saka doesn't. He picks players out. That ball is pinpoint. Anyway, Sim, talk to me. What were your thoughts on the game, and what do you think of the result as well? Do you think, like Puz, you think you lots are you're still in this good attitude?
As I said to as an Arsenal supporter, didn't deserve anything out of that game, but for us to get a point, it felt like 3 points for me, because the first half, we was way off it. We was misplacing passes. Zinchenko was getting caught out by Sterling a lot. I feel that the pace of Modric was splitting our centre-backs. So Saliba and Gabriel was kind of getting a bit muddled up, because I feel like they didn't know when to go and stick. One of them to go or stick. So I feel like that kind of complicated. It's going to sound crazy what I'm going to say, because Klopp said some crazy things. I think the weather had a big part to play with it as well. I just don't think... I know it sounds stupid what I'm saying, but I just don't think the boys were on it, to be fair. But as Paul said, I can't this is the stuff what I say to a lot of people. We may look back at the end of the season and say, this point might have spurred us
Mm.
to go and win the league, because 5 years ago, would know Arsenal would have completely capitulated 2-0 down.
I don't even think 5 years ago. I think 3 years ago.
Yeah, okay, 3 years ago, if we want to
No, we've been winning that. We've been winning that Stamford Bridge, man, for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
So probably
yeah,
5 years. 5 years is good.
Let's say 5 years.
5 years is
Yeah,
good.
right. Because our record at Stamford Bridge was quite good. But yeah, 5 years ago we would have completely capitulated. But yeah, man, one thing I would say is that man of the match for me, Declan Rice, because I feel like the first half he was kind of finding it hard to kind of dominate the midfield, because not to be rude, Jorginho, as good as he is, he just doesn't have the engine to kind of compete with the likes of Caicedo, Enzo, and Gallagher. I feel like
Yeah, he can't keep up with them, can he?
He can't keep up with them. But passing wise and vision wise, he's a step ahead of them. But you need time
On the ball, yeah, he controls tempo.
Yeah, he controls tempo. So I feel like one thing I would give to Pochettino, I think he identified that area rather quickly, and that was our weakness in that midfield. However, the second half, when Declan dropped deeper and Emma Smith Rowe was kind of playing that number 8, you could see the difference. And Declan was also joining with our attacks, as well as keeping the back four line in shape as well, being a shield for the back four line as well. So for me, I'll give Declan the man of the match. And one thing I would say, as you said, Chris, that boy Saka didn't do shit all yesterday. I'm his biggest fan. Shout out to Saka. But one thing you have to say about your star players, they give you that moment.
They deliver.
Minute, as you said, that pinpoint cross there was it. You could even see how Trossard finished it. It was literally like, okay, you know what? I mean, I will decide how you finish this goal. The ball was that great. So he literally just did his thing. He came in on his left foot.
He's just got on the end of it, hasn't he? He's made a connection. He's managed to sort of just leg it off of his sort of right shin and just put it against Sanchez's blind side and just knocked it in. You know,
literally
good finish.
And I would say, as Paz said, I would say at that moment I felt we was good enough to go and win the game. Unfortunately, Jesus as well, he had a bad game. He came off. Erdegaard particularly, I don't know if he was bad or Pochettino's tactics was just good. I don't know, but I feel that Chelsea they wanted it a bit more than us. But I just feel that right now, where we're at mentally as a team, I just don't think we can be beaten. And I don't say it in a way of that we're the best team in the Premier League. I just feel like mentally, we've got that stuff in us that champions are made of. I feel like we're building that courage to say, you know what, as Pav said, never die attitude. But I would say the boys got away with one yesterday, man. And I feel like we need to bring it.
Look, a point at Stamford Bridge at any time was always a good point.
Yeah,
you could argue that Chelsea are still in transition, but
Chris, let's be honest. It's a good point, but Man City 2 weeks prior to that to be level on points with them. We don't do those type of things to kind of just cancel it out. And yes, we all know it is a long season ahead of us. However, you take advantage when you can, especially with a team that's City behind you, because we all know what City are capable of doing. Last 15 games, they can get 15 wins. Let's be honest, guys. We've seen this happen.
Possible.
It's very possible. So when you can take advantage, especially against, as you said, a weakened Chelsea team, not a Mourinho Chelsea team. This is as you said, a Chelsea team that's in transition. You take that advantage in my eyes. Yeah, you take that advantage. But as I said, we didn't deserve fuck all yesterday. Started
slow. Had to grow into the game, and to be fair,
thing I would say, guys, I want Ramsdale back, man. I know it's so random, but after seeing what I saw yesterday from Real, as I can't see the big difference in the kicking, number one, but in the shot stopping, I can see it with Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale, when it comes to shot stopping, he's way better. And I don't think Ramsdale would have been off his line, to be fair. But I get why he's off his line. He's been there to be like a sweeper keeper, if that makes sense. But
he's just feeling the pressure at the moment. It's the same with Onana, whereby Raya is a top keeper. Onana is a top keeper. But playing for Man United and playing for Arsenal is very different. A lot of people argued that Onana has played on the biggest stage. He played in the Champions League final. He's played at the Barcelona Nou Camp. I would still argue that's very, very different to being in the goal at Manchester United. It's one of the hardest positions in football. And then for Raya going from, where'd he come from? Brighton? Brentford, sorry. Oh, that's a massive step up. That's a massive step up.
Chris,
that's huge.
Chris. I hear all of that. I'm with you. I do get that because I'm a big advocate for saying paying for a bottom 10 team and paying for a top 6 team, the expectation levels shoot up dramatically. The consistency level has to be on point. However, you've done this in 2 games, 2 big games at that. Just take a time out, man. Because Arteta's created this problem. Let's be honest. He's created this problem. We as Arsenal fans, we didn't have a problem with Ramsdale. You are lying. You created this problem now. Now you're saying you don't mind having 2 number 1 goalkeepers. One of your number 1s have now done 2 blunders, which has led to 2 consecutive goals. Just bring in the other guy now. Give the other guy that chance. And if he messes up, you bring him in again. That's how it works. That's what top teams do. But yeah, man, for me, I don't think Real's particularly that great compared to Ramsdale when it comes to kicking. And I think Ramsdale's shot stopping ability is way better than Real. But I just believe there should be a change there, man. There should be a change there, man.
There needs to be competition. You lot are trying to go for the big league, so there needs to be competition.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is Raya needs time. What I'm saying is Raya needs time. He needs a season really to bed in.
I'll be honest with you, man. I wouldn't risk a season with Raya. That's me being honest.
Well, fair enough.
I wouldn't. But yeah, man. As far as I'm concerned, as an Arsenal fan, and then looking at that game yesterday, yes, we can look at it as 2 points drop, but we have to be honest with ourselves and look in the mirror and say, did we deserve...
The way it finished, it's a 1 point game. 1 point game.
One point game, man. So we go on next week with Sheffield United. So
yeah, that'll be an easy 3 points. We made a dog's dinner of that ourselves in the first half.
1 point bridge.
Yeah,
1 point bridge.